Laura,
Hi.
this I was not expecting. You look great. What's going on?
Happy.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you for
Thanks for having us.
thank you for taking the time to join us here in Vancouver, Canada. Have you been here before, by the way?
I have. I've been there twice. And
Oh,
actually we just were there for a photo shoot in, was it May? Oh no, it was in July.
hmm.
Fantastic. And it was I love it there. It's beautiful.
It's
And
such a
everybody
great.
was so nice. We were just sitting out on the water
Yeah.
and the weather was perfect.
Where did you grow up?
Maryland. Turn
Okay.
left at the cow, right at the church, keep on going directions.
Yeah, yeah. And how was
Middle
that?
of nowhere,
Like,
where
how was that
green grass grows.
for music and all that? Like, was it a big music upbringing for you?
I've always loved music, so it was just something that was in me. And my mom plays a little piano, and we were just always singing and listening to the oldies, and country's always been there too, because I'm from the country, but also I love the lyrics, I love the melodies and that kind of a thing. So yeah, it's always been in my blood.
That's great. And so who were the first bands to really grab a hold of you? Was it like Dolly and Kenny and all that, or
Well, Dolly is, I mean, God, what a legend. And
I know,
one
right?
of my things that when I fall in love with an artist, I always like to look at what they do outside of their creativity. And I love that she's so philanthropic. She gives back in any way that she can, whether it was during the pandemic or it was or it's children with her library. I mean, all different things. And so, yes, I'm a huge fan of her, but I love her music too, and her songwriting is incredible. I'm getting more and more into songwriting, so it's been fun to explore. And what does Laura want to say, and what's next, and again, wish list.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
so,
yeah.
but
And
yeah, no, Dolly's definitely high on my list for sure.
sure. I mean, and you think about like, of course she's revered in your, in your world, in the country world, but I mean, think about the record that she just produced with tons of rock stars, like the singer of Judas Priest jumped on a song with
I
her.
know.
You know what I mean? Like she is loved by everyone. It's not just people in country.
Oh, everybody. And she's so middle of the road. She's funny. She's like, you know what? I'm not political. I got fans on the left, I got fans on the right, and I like to keep it that way. I mean, she's great. She knows her fans, and she knows how to really work the whole thing, and just a genuine heart. And actually, a dear friend of mine played on that record.
Oh, no
So,
way.
yeah, Dane Bryan, he's a keyboard player. He's amazing. I love him. In fact, we're roommates too in Nashville.
Nice.
But
Nice.
so, but absolutely incredible. And he said the session was amazing too. And he
I bet.
actually, he produced one of the last records that Olivia Newton-John ever sang on. And in
Oh,
fact, it was with Olivia and Dolly. They sang Jolene together. It was Olivia's favorite song, and she always wanted, or one of her favorite Dolly songs, and she wanted to do it with Dolly. And that's one of the last things they did together. And Dane got to produce it. And I said, how did that even happen? How did you come up with that? And he's been Olivia's music director for many years. And he said, Laura, the arrangement came to me the night before when I was sleeping in this dream. And it was just like one of those ding kind of moments. But
nice.
yeah,
Have you ever seen Dolly in concert?
I have. I saw her at the Hollywood Bowl, and it was amazing. I mean, that's a great venue too, and
Yeah,
just a great live venue. And the sound is impeccable, and it just radiated Dolly all over it.
that's great. And what was the first concert that you went to?
Oh gosh, I have to think about that. My first concert was would be In Sync.
Really?
I love me some good In Sync. Can't beat it.
What do you remember?
Ba ba ba.
How old were you?
Oh gosh. What was I like? 10, 11, something like that. Yeah. 10, 11, 12, something. It was so fun.
What do you remember about that day?
Well, they tried to bring my sister on stage, but
No
my
way,
sister's like,
really?
no, no.
Like,
But
you
I was
regret
like,
that
I'll
not
go, because they were picking all like all the little kids and stuff. And my sister was on the end, and I was like, hey, what about me?
nice.
But I just remember that they're dancing, and I mean, they're true entertainers.
Mhm,
They put on a show, absolutely put on a show.
mhm.
And I mean, I love the whole boy band thing. I think it's great, but they really are just great musicians and great entertainers. They dance, they sing, they do all of the above, and you sit there and you're literally entertained the whole time. And they talk about their songs and how they wrote it, or how they came up with it, or why they wanted to record it or whatnot. And it was just such a great, it's so, to me as a songwriter, as a growing songwriter, I'm seeing that more and more. Why does somebody write the song? Why did I come up and write Wish List? And you know, it's one of those things that it's just like, oh, it's in me. And I'm like, okay, what does Laura want to say next? And so yeah, it was a great concert, and obviously all the flair and everything too.
Yeah, for sure. And how old, were you for your first concert that you threw? Like, were you a teenager? Were you into your 20s?
Oh, mine probably 4 or 5 for my parents in the
4 or 5.
basement.
Yes, of course. Yes,
And
of
it was
course.
it was the best audience ever.
Yeah, they adored
Although
you.
they probably had to see the show a million times, so they were like, "We're over it. Let's not do that."
Totally right.
Because we were charging them tickets. My sisters and I were like, "Yo,
Nice.
you need to pay just like
Yeah,
everybody
yeah, the doorman.
else."
That's funny. What have you got beside you, by the way? What's going on here?
So, these are, you know what? This is so funny. When you dream as a child and about, oh, I want to sing and I want to do this, you never know that down the road you're going to write children's books about your birds. So
Right.
I have parrots. I'm the crazy bird chick. And this is Snuggles, one of the birds. And I've written a Christmas book.
Well,
And
that's
this one will be coming out soon, but Snuggles Goes to Hollywood, this is Snuggles. But and through the books they learn different lessons, and that they're there for one another. It's teamwork, and in this Christmas book, which is Tyler, Harmony, Snuggles, and the Christmas Tradition, they learn they learn how to give back and help people, and that's something that was very important to my parents, for us kids to learn. And so they always wanted us to do that in our lives, and it's always been very important to me. So in this Christmas book, the birds learn about different traditions. Like, yes, in our family we make cookies, we sleep under the tree, we decorate the tree, we go and sit on Santa's lap. But the birds also go to a soup kitchen or a homeless shelter, and they feed homeless birds. And also, a tradition in our house, this is one of my favorites, is that my parents would always tell us, go find a student in your class who's less fortunate, who probably thinks that Santa may not come this year. And so we would go out and buy gifts and make gifts. And the night before Christmas, we would leave the gifts on their front porch, knock on their door, and run. And so that way Santa would come, and they never knew it was us. And so it's told through the bird's eye view that the birds learn this. So yes, it is a holiday book, but it's not always a holiday book. It's about giving back
it's the the,
and
the
I'm
feeling
sorry.
of the book. It's the feeling. It's
Yeah,
the message that
absolutely.
you're trying to convey.
Exactly. And I also have an American flag that flew with me on my F-16 ride. So when I was doing a bunch of stuff, which I still do with the Air National Guard. So
That's incredible. What's that?
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's really neat. And I pulled 9 Gs and I didn't throw up.
Wow. Like, some people pass out too, right? Like, straight up,
Oh yeah.
too much.
In fact, I did a tour with Clint Black, and we had actually talked about that, because he had done one too, and he used to blow up all over the place.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh no, here are my barf bags full
I
of
didn't
nine
do that.
cheese.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah.
crazy. So, kids book author. Did you like? Do you still host a radio show, or you used to host a radio show?
I do every now and then. I've done actually a couple radio shows. One was for the military, as you know, I have a huge love of the military,
Mm,
which was called Serving Your Country, where we would take dedications and requests from family members or friends that wanted to send a request or a dedication or a letter from home to someone in the military. And we would also play country music, me and Ramblin' Ray out of Chicago. And also, I have a show called it's with Golf Talk America with PGA Tour Radio. And it's called That's America to Me. So, where I go and interview different people, all different walks of life that specialize in whatever field they're in. I've interviewed Bill Anderson, I've interviewed Larry King, dear friend, and even Bob Fischel, who invented the heart stent. So like all different kinds of people. And so it's been great. I try to get to do that as much as I can, but it's a little nutty going around, living the dream, all of the above. So
I was just gonna say, like, what, you don't like downtime? Like,
you
chuck
know what? I am
chuck up
so,
on like country tours and everything else. Like, where do you find the time to do all this stuff?
you know what? I love being busy doing what you love. I know that's cheesy and stupid, but I feel so blessed and I feel so honored that I get to do that every day. And
Yeah,
again, that's another reason why I love our military. They let us live in freedom and live our dreams and, we get to do the things that we want to do. And I always say, like, these men and women, they give their time, their energy, and their lives 365 days a year. And it's not just them that give, it's the families that give too, because they're moving around the country, the world, whatever it may be, so that we can have our freedom. So I always like to give a shout out and say thank you for everything that your family is doing too, as well as these men and women in the service.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm so proud of this flag. It's like I couldn't even believe that they asked me to do it. I was like, oh, are you sure you want me to go? They're like, oh yeah. So, but it was one of the greatest experiences of my life.
Yeah, that's cool. And how's the golf game?
You know what? Give me a pink ball and a kitty club and a clown's mouth. I'm good to go. I
Yeah,
can rock a good mini golf.
great. That's great.
This is all pump and blow dryer. It's probably my golf ball's not going to go very far.
Mhm. And how good does it feel to be back, kind of normal, right? Like you're back playing your music in front of people. Like those couple of years of COVID was crazy, right?
It was so crazy. You know what? And anybody that says that they weren't depressed or had some form of it, that's a lie. I mean, it was so difficult, especially to me. I mean, granted, Zoom has been great, but it's also been hard too. I love seeing somebody's face. I love being in person. I love giving someone a hug.
Mm,
And you miss that.
of course.
And but it's shows like yours that allowed us to be creative and to get our music out there and everything we wanted to say and stay connected to our fans, or as we call them, the Bryniacs. We're a big family. But yeah, it was a tough time. It was very dark but I also saw us all come together too. As human beings, we do want to help each other get through the tough times. And we all got to see that, how we really do care about one another. But to be able to get back out there and continue this dream and live it and share your music, and you just can't explain it to somebody. I mean, I've never done drugs before, anything like that, but that high of when you're performing and connecting with somebody and somebody singing the words back to you, the song that you wrote or the song that you're performing, because they love it or it touched their heart or it got them through a tough time or made them feel something, whatever it may be. That's, even if it just happens to one person, as an artist, I've done my job and
Yeah, yeah.
I've helped somebody
And what
put a
was
smile on their face or get them through a difficult time.
Yeah, that first show, like, do you remember where it was? Where you played first?
Oh god, the first show I'm trying to think was it was in Nashville, and it was great. It felt so good to be like be there jamming with my band and everything. It's like, oh God, this feels so right, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, it was so, so good. And you know, we were doing we did a couple things actually, and we were doing the Opry TV WSMV, which was really fun. And then I love this organization. You know me, I love to give back and I love to help in any way that I can. There's a great organization called Musicians on Call. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's amazing. And they bring in musicians to come to different hospitals and sing to the patients if they're up for it, or if they just need a little pick me up or something to just give them a smile or something. And I actually was given the Vanderbilt VA hospital. And oh God, it was really an incredible moment. Um, I will always remember that. And just, you know, again, there's these amazing servicemen and women who just want to be with their platoon. They want to get back out there. They want to get better. And they're just so grateful that we came in there to play them a few songs, and some of them were singing back, and just it was just a wonderful it was just a wonderful experience. And RJ was with me, and we just he was my guitar player, and we were singing harmonies, and we sang over the rainbow, and then we were singing some classic songs too, like Love Is Alive, and then we did Jawbreaker, and just our songs, and it just was great. And
Yeah,
you
it's crazy, right? Like, isn't it amazing what music does to people?
It is, you know, and that's the thing, like, whatever your political views, whatever anybody's things are, music brings people together, and it's so healing. It really does. I remember my dad recently passed away during the pandemic, not from COVID, but a rare blood cancer. And I remember I went into the grocery store to go pick up some sliced turkey or something. And he was going through chemo and radiation, and the doctor was like, look, we need to keep him eating and different things. And so he was like, look, I need you to get him some dark chocolate. I'm like, dark chocolate? But it's got, you know, it's high in magnesium and different things like that, which chemo depletes and whatnot. And so there I was getting some sliced turkey, and this woman behind the counter, uh, she said, oh, you know, can I help you? And all of a sudden I just burst into tears. You know, it's like you got to be strong when you got to be strong. And like it just everything fell out. And she's like, it's okay, you know, you're okay, it's okay. And I was explaining the situation. She said, I'm a 12-year breast cancer survivor. And she said, if I have any advice to give you, don't forget to laugh at least once a day and sing a little song, whether it's You Are My Sunshine, or it's something by Dolly Parton, or it's something by Metallica. She's like, music is healing.
Mhm,
She's like, and don't forget to laugh at least once a day.
mhm.
And it's been such I love that advice, and I use that every day.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah.
True too. There's a program around locally here in Vancouver in the Lower Mainland that's it's called Music Heals. It,
Yes.
it sounds kind of like what you're doing there as well. Like
Yeah.
they'll take instruments and stuff, and people will go to like old folks' homes where they don't
Right.
remember their kids' names, but yet they can remember all of the words to Jolene,
Exactly. Like even
that
in
sort of thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
even with my dad when he was passing, we were singing all these oldies, you know, and people like, you can't even know any of these songs. But, you know, listening to the oldies but goodies with my dad and driving to the Sunday school and whatnot, there we were in the last couple of days just sitting there saying, as I walk along, I wonder, you know, we're just humming a tune. And it doesn't, you could see my dad kind of just moving his head and all those things. And doesn't matter what you're going through, or you know, the good, the bad, the ugly. Music brings a smile. You feel something. It definitely is healing.
yeah. No, I totally agree. And by the way, how did you decide on is it Janet Jackson or is it Michael Jackson? I can never get this right. Is it the Black Cat?
Oh, Black Cat. It's Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson. So how do you decide on the covers, and what would you cover today if you were to do something like that again?
Oh, Todd, I got a song for you.
Mhm.
I'll give you a little, I'll tell you a little something. We have a fun song coming out. Here's my thing. If you're going to do a cover of a song and it's iconic, you
Mhm.
either got to sing it the way the
Gotta nail it.
icon did or change it and make it your own.
Sure.
Because somewhere in the middle don't work. That don't work at all.
Yeah.
So I love Janet Jackson. She's amazing. What a major icon, as well as her brother and their family. And I just was like, I want to make this badass and rocking guitars and just real sassy attitude. And so that's what we did. And as far as like the covers, we have such a great creative team behind us too. I mean, that's the thing. Like, yes, yes, it's my name, it's my face, and I'm the one that sings or is creative and all. But there's so many people that go into the Laura Bryna team. Like, there's no way I could do any of this on my own. It's
Yeah,
from
imagine trying to pull it off by yourself. Like,
who can do that? I mean, from bus drivers to makeup artists to it's a whole team.
sure.
There's no I in the word team. Yes, I know there's a me, but there's no I. And so I'm so grateful because of all of these amazing people and people like, and you, but we have a fun song coming out. I hate myself for
No, really? Joan Jett?
loving you. Oh yeah. And we
Wow.
got a video. The video is so fun. It was shot in Las Vegas. I don't want to totally give it away because there's some really badass things going on in there. And actually, they've never shot a video in one of these places in the video. So
Mm,
they've done some photo shoots here and there, but they've never done a music video.
mm.
So I think I'm losing my hat. Sorry, it's kind of falling. But as you do, your Santa hat always falls off. But no, and again, Joan Jett I love her music. I love her music. I love that she's rock. I love that she's sassy. I love that she's edgy. And so when I was thinking, when I wanted to take an iconic song and I was like, you know what, but I want to make it kind of, I want to pay homage to her because she's amazing, but I also want to make it a little Laura Bryna-y and do a little twist it with our stuff, with our shtick. And so I kind of made it's very rock, but it's also like a country Southern rock, little blues, but it's kind of got those Winona, or I really say the Judsy kind of harmonies in it, because the Joan Jett version is all gang vocals and everybody just singing the lead.
Yeah.
But we did a little bit of both. So we added some cool Judd's harmonies, but also did some gang vocals too. So I hope that she would be proud of that. I hope that it would it would make her happy and that, somebody did a great version of it.
Yeah, sure. And so, like,
Yeah.
did Janet get a hold of you when you did that song, or did like you talk to anybody, or
I
because
mean, I'm still waiting. She can call me.
that was a really
I
good
got a
job.
cell phone.
That was a really good
I
job.
know people that know her, but it's like, Janet, hi, it's Laura.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, I have some friends that have danced with her, and so, but yeah, like, or actually, my dance teacher danced with her. So, but yeah, no, it's yeah, I'm here. She can call me whenever she wants.
Nice.
24/7, I'm good.
For your whole career, and this is including everything, like, to the radio host and the writing kids books and stuff, can you nail it down to one career highlight, or is that just impossible?
It is impossible, but I will say something that does really always stick out to me. I mean, I loved that Musicians on Call, but I mean, because I love giving back, so that's my thing. I so fortunate that I got to go on a USO tour in right before the pandemic, And it was the week of July 4th. And it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. I was responsible for singing the national anthem at every performance. And then I also got to do Hometown Heroes, a song that I co-wrote for the Air National Guard. And, you know, to go there to Kosovo, Kuwait, an undisclosed or location, Jordan, Djibouti, Africa. We went to Spain and Germany. I mean, to sit there, it's 4th of July. So, I mean, that's our independence. But then to go and sing the national anthem in front of all these men and women and everybody sing together on 4th of July or that week, you know, and these men and women have been away for like 9 months. And we're just bringing a little piece of home to them to say thank you. And I remember like going on stage and just kind of just standing there each time for like, to me, I mean, it must have felt like minutes, but for me, it just, I was, or felt like an eternity to people, but I just sat there and I was like, if I never get back here, I want to be a sponge and suck it all in and just soak in this moment. And I just, you look around and you see everybody in their fatigues and there's flags waving, and there you all are singing the song, and every word means something, you know, from the to the flag to the bursting in air and the home of the brave. I mean, it just, these men and women live these words, and I was the one that got to sing it.
Yeah,
It's an incredible honor to be able to do that. And I
that's
can't wait to go on another tour.
for sure. Now that nothing's booked yet, or is it? Or are you dropping more stuff here?
Oh,
Feel
Todd,
like
I
I
got
got
stuff to
many
drop
tricks here.
everywhere.
That's great. What is the rest of the year looking like for you, and like how far are you mapped into to 24?
Oh, we're Googling, mapping, and we're Wazing it and all of the above. But we got a lot going on, doing a lot of writing. Really excited about Wish List. The you know, it's funny, you gotta, when you do Christmas, you think, you're like, oh my gosh, Christmas is such a happy time and all of those things, and you never know that a song that you write that people are going to like. I mean, now, you know, we've got Certified out, Jawbreak, and everybody's been so responsive. I mean, really, like, you're putting a song out there, you're like, and standing in the middle of the street naked, and you're like, I hope they like it. But yeah, I mean, and it's crazy, like their wish list. I was on a layover in Dallas, and I'm on the phone with Damon, and we're going back and forth, and I'm telling one of my managers, I was like, write this down on the napkin. What if it goes like this? So, I mean, it's been crazy, but we've got a lot of different shows. Like we're doing the Hollywood Christmas Parade coming up,
Mm,
which is November 26th. It's going to be on the CW. So that's really exciting. So it's really a big debut of Wish List. We're hoping to get overseas and do some fun shows over there and country to country over that. It's like the UK and Scotland and Ireland and all. So it'd be great to be a part of that. But we've got lots of new music coming out. We've got I'm constantly writing, so it's been really a great experience, and writing songs for me and what I want to say next. And so that's been great, and just challenging myself. I think that's something that, you know, as artists or even as human beings or in anything that we do, I'm always learning and challenging myself. I want to surround myself with people who are better than I am so that I can get better too.
yeah,
Um,
that's how you rise.
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting touring and doing a whole bunch of shows and writing and all of the above. So I'm excited about all of that.
And why do you think it is that like maybe as an artist you can shed some light on this, but like seems to me that there's just not enough bands or songwriters and stuff making Christmas music. Why is that, do you think?
um, you know, gosh, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's the happiest time of the year. I mean, I love that time of year. I love being together. It's about
But
giving back.
you know what I mean, though, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, so I think
Like none of my favorite bands make Christmas music. Like
I
none,
think because it's like, one time a year, and I think that I mean, I don't know, but it's a gift that keeps on giving. I mean, it's all you'll hear it every year, and maybe it's cliche.
exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah,
That is strange though. I know exactly what you're saying.
yeah.
To me, it
But,
just seemed like a rite of passage. I mean, we've put out Santa Baby, and now we have Wish List that's coming out. And so
and
to
like,
me,
how
it
fun is
just,
that to know that people are like families are at home with their kids and it's comfort zone and your music's playing there.
it is a pinchy moment. It's definitely a pinchy moment. I mean, you go back as a little one, you're like, oh, I want to sing. You don't know what that means. I mean, you do, but you don't like, where's what is that? And you've got all these different opportunities coming up. Like, I didn't know I was going to write children's books. And my mom's like, Laura, everybody knows you and your birds. You should do something. I'm like, okay. And so it just became this passion project that's turned into something. We've got a website coming out called The Beak Buddies, and that's the whole brand. It's called The Beak Buddies, and we've got an animation video coming out soon with them. And so the birds are go on different adventures and things like that. So yeah, it's great to be able to dream. Exactly, and what a great time of year to do it.
Love it. I love your positivity, Laura. It is simply it's refreshing. I love it.
Thank you. I try, I think that's something that my parents instilled in me. And
Yeah. Yeah,
so
same for me. You're easy to find on Instagram. Simply your name, Laura Bryner.
yeah.
Rather. And where are you most active, you think? On social
All of
media?
the above, and I'm the one that responds. So, it's not that somebody else is doing. I'm the one that responds. So, I mean, we've got Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, laurabryna.com. We've got, I mean, all of the above, and definitely check us out on Spotify, stream. But yeah, we've got a lot of different fun things. Oh, and X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. But definitely go see the video of Wish List coming out on YouTube. We got a lot of fun videos there too. So from
Yeah,
acoustic things to just uh great performances and just being real and hanging out with Laura.
I love it. Laura, thank you for taking the time. I'll wrap it
Thank
up.
you so much for having me.